just to make it clear, no, let us start our session. So good afternoon once again. If this is your first time ho mag-join, magandang hapon. My name is Doc Ben. I was a former PhilHealth Claims Chief. So basically, I was with PhilHealth for 15 years, almost 15 years. And I've been doing this clinical claims management for more than 2 decades. So basically, ito yung ginagawa ko. This is what I do. I'm a self-proclaimed claims expert. So after PhilHealth, okay, I created a consulting firm and went around the country to teach hospitals, doctors, and other health professionals in how to make money legally. Okay. So ngayong hapon ang pag-uusapan natin, it's all about the 10 critical notes that doctors should know. Ito ho ay napaka-importante na maintindihan ninyo so that you can implement this in your own hospital and you can maximize things and basically make money. Okay? Hindi naman daw bawal because here in the healthcare setup that we have, okay, since meron ho kayong hospital, nagpapatakbo ho kayo ng hospital, if you're the owner, if you are the medical director, if you're the board member, or if you are basically an officer or an employee, okay, this is the opportunity to make money legally. Okay? So, okay, ang pag-uusapan ho natin will not be 5, but practically I'm going to give you at least 10 critical doctor notes na pwede ho ninyong mapakinabangan, okay, at hopefully magamit ho ninyo sa inyong hospital. So, if you're going to stay until the end, okay, you're gonna get the 10, not the 5 as previously posted ho sa mga email ninyo at sa ibang social media. Okay, so bakit kailangan natin pag-usapan? Okay, why is there a need to talk about yeah, okay. Opo, si Doc Royce. Okay, yes, a very good friend. Okay. If kindly extend my regards ho. Okay, may commercial. Okay, thank you po very much. Si Doc Royce. Okay, kasama ko dati sa Finland. Now, ang pag-uusapan ho natin is basically ito hong 10 critical doctor notes. Now, why is it ganito po, no? We will not allow any recording because we're going to post this sa YouTube. We'll try our best. So you can access it there. So you can review it and you can access and you can share it to your friends or kasama ko din yung sa hospital. Okay? Now, okay. Sana ba ako? Now, why is it important na kailangan nyo maintindihan yung 10 critical na bagay na information na manggagaling ho or nanggagaling sa doktor. Okay? Wherein in the absence of which, okay, your claim may, the word is may, or it can potentially be denied, returned, or will not be paid kapag makita ni PhilHealth. So it's best that you need to have the following, the 10 items, or it should be correct, complete, and consistent. Okay, so it would be nice also kung nandiyan yung doktor ninyo or show the video to your doctors if they have the time to check it. Or if you are working as a medical evaluator. Okay, kasi ito din yung dapat ninyong tandaan. Okay, I'll go back to the slide and hopefully you get to see it and we can proceed with our discussion. So, ito yon. Now, and eto, just a short disclaimer po, no? Whatever discussion, whatever scenario, whatever examples that I will explain during our webinar is basically based on my experience, and it's not intended to malign anybody. It's not intended to malign PhilHealth, DOH, or any other institution or personalities. Okay? So, para malinaw lang po. Now, a lot of it is basically based on my experience and some of it, especially itong DRG related, this is based on these are based on experiences, narrative, and reports that are seen, discussed, okay, and even key informant interviews I've done with with the significant people in other countries using the DRG. Okay? Sige po, let us proceed. Okay. Now, ito tatlong totoong kwento wherein nagka-problema ho si hospital. First story, a level 3 hospital. Okay? The level 3, so it's a training hospital. I'll not mention the hospital. It's a training hospital wherein 47 to almost 50 of them practically galit sa akin. Okay, ganito yan. So, when PhilHealth flagged them, okay, apparently, ako yung pumirma that they were flagged and their names were given to legal and their charge as well as their clinic as well as their claim, okay, nasa legal. So, fast forward, yung hospital na na na-suspend and some of the 47 to 50 doctors were also suspended. Okay. Ano yung nangyari? So, very simple. So, yung mga doktor hindi talaga maayos yung documentation nila. Okay? So, yung content ng kanilang claim, okay, nung it was verified with the clinical chart, there were so many inconsistencies. Now, a lot of them, I think 90% of them had ended up with an upcasing case. Okay, ito yung misrepresentation. The upcase kasi ang upcasing or upcoding na violation, ang kaso ninyo kay PhilHealth is basically misrepresentation. So 90% of them were charged with this and some of them na suspended. Okay? Why? Basically, the contents that the doctors were making were either incorrect, incomplete, and inconsistent. Some of them blamed the residents. Some of them even explained it in a strange way. But at the end of the day, suspended sila. Okay? Now, another scenario, a level 2 hospital. Ito po, if you are a master class hospital, this is the example that I usually share to many of them. Okay? A level 2 hospital with a 30 million worth legal case with PhilHealth. Eventually, ganun din ang nangyari. They got suspended. Why? Still the same, no? Ang cases ng doktor, napakarami hong doktor. The top 20 doctors of the hospital, cases were filed against them simply because yung content again ng kanilang clinical chart versus the claim had a lot of inconsistency. Okay? Ito yung pag-uusapan natin. So ano ba yung mga inconsistency? Ito yung dapat na kailangan maintindihan ninyo. And story number 3 is practically the same. A level 1 hospital. The hospital, first, the owner of the hospital is a diplomate and a fellow, okay? Na-suspend yung may-ari and binangga si PhilHealth, na-suspend yung hospital and eventually, okay, lumabas pa sila sa Senate hearing during the time of pandemic and the hospital accreditation is now revoked and the hospital is now for sale. Now, ano yung nangyari? Okay? Very simple. Okay? Again, yung documentation. So, ano yung pattern ng tatlong hospital? Okay? All of them, the same story. Nagkaroon ng problema dahil lang mali yung documentation. So this is what we're going to discuss. Okay? We're practically identifying at least 10 doctor notes na kapag kulang, mali, or inconsistent, okay, ma-flag kayo ni PhilHealth. Pag na-flag kayo ni PhilHealth, titingnan ngayon yung clinical chart ninyo. Okay? Kapag binasa yung clinical chart ninyo, ang question is, ano ba yung laman ng clinical chart ninyo? So, kapag yung isang chart ay meron inconsistency, the next thing they will do is ask for another chart. What's next? They will ask for another chart. And then, until they ask for 50 clinical charts. Okay? I've got some clients, ang hiningi sa kanila, 400. May isang client, as many as 2,000 clinical charts ang hiningi. So, okay? Those are the sad things and hopefully we can actually prevent it from happening. Now, I'll go back to the slide. Okay. So, it's very important to understand ho na yung RTH ninyo, yung mga denied na claims, okay? At sa parating ho na DRG, okay? Magkakaroon din kayo ng the same problem. If you have RTH denied or legal sa panahon ng case rate, I'm going to guarantee if you're not fixing it, you will have the same problem po, okay? Pagdating ng DRG, okay? Kasi po it's the same process, whatever form of payment, fee for service, case rate, DRG, and even ito hong global budget, the same lang ho, okay, ang proseso na yan. Magpo-post audit, titingnan kung tama or mali, and then magre-return, magde-deny, or for the worst scenario, may legal ho na ipa-file sa inyo. Of course, on due process. So, you really need to identify ito hong mga documentation gaps ng hospital ninyo. It will not only lead to revenue loss, but it's going to lead to an investigation and even legal problems. Okay, so malinaw yan. That's a little bit common sense. Now, to proceed though, why is there a need to focus on doctor's notes? Now, ang ibig sabihin ho dito ng doctor's notes, hindi lang ho yung orders nila. Okay? Anything that is related kung ano ho yung ginagawa ni doc dun sa clinical chart. Now, the concept is quite simple. Okay? First, yung claim na pinapadala ninyo kay PhilHealth, it contains 80% clinical information. And that information comes from the doctors as well as the nurses. So, ang problem ho is that a lot of the doctors are not trained sa concept ni PhilHealth. That is why a lot of hospitals end up in trouble unintentionally because the doctors are not trained. It's a doctor-induced. So, here is the problem. The core problem lies on unclear documentation. Kapag hindi ho malinaw yung documentation ni Doc, magkakaproblema ho talaga kayo. So, kasi all the information that the doctor provides in the clinical chart, okay, your claims processors need to gather everything and collate everything and transfer it into PhilHealth forms. So that the question there is, may consistency ba? Yung details ho ng documentation ba ni Doc na nilipat from clinical chart to the claim form is malinis ba ang pagkagawa? So kung hindi ho ito tama at kung kulang ho ito, magkakaproblema kayo. So this will basically affect a lot of things. For example, for case rate, this is the common problem. Okay? Pag binasa yung CF4, pag mali o kulang, magkakaproblema kayo. Kasi yung sa case rate ho, this is the basically sa case rate, ang tinitingnan ho, okay, there are certain parts in the case rate na priority ni PhilHealth tingnan. Okay? So, ang question, tama ba yung mga nilalagay ninyo doon? So, itong mga information ano to, okay? They need to convert that into ICD codes, okay? They need to review ho, they need to review the RVS, and once DRG, okay, once DRG ho will start, is going to be more complicated. Okay? Yan ho ang problema. Now, if you try to look at the slide, okay, there is really an impact, okay, yung medical necessity validation. Yan din ho yung hinahanap sa CF4. Okay? Again, nandyan ho yung CF4 compliance as a whole. And of course, the impact on quality wherein it leads to legal implication, and at the same time, yung income stability. Now, before we proceed, I would like you to understand, sa case rate ho, sa ngayon, okay, kailan ba,
Hindi na po kabati. Wala ko audio.
so, sa case rate ho, you need to understand, ang trigger ho, ang binabantayan ho ni PhilHealth una is yung,
I-play ko na lang para makarinig ka din, Bebs.
okay,
Membership to.
mukhang nag-away yata sila. So, sa case rate ho, it's very important to understand that PhilHealth will check the CF4. So, ganito. Pag nagpadala pa kayo ng 1,000 na claim with 1,000 CF4 attached, babasahin ba? Of course not.
Wala.
Kinakailangan hong alam ninyo kung ano yung mga favorite na basahin ni PhilHealth. So pag nagpadala kayo ng 1,000, hindi ho yan lahat babasahin. There is a list of illnesses or favorite diagnosis and procedures that they prefer to read. Okay? But still the same, the point here is this. Okay? Yung laman ba ng CF4 ninyo tama? Na saan ba magagaling yung laman ng CF4? Well, definitely it comes from the clinical chart. So sino ba yung author ng clinical chart? It's the doctor. Again, no, a lot of it comes from the doctor. So the question again here, okay, yung doktor ba ninyo trained? Yung trabaho ba ni doc sa clinical chart, is it designed that it can easily be transferred to the CF4? Kasi kung hindi ho yun nakadesign na madaling hugutin, okay, at ilagay sa CF4, mahihirapan ho kayo. So, here's the problem. A lot of doctors are not trained to do that. So, it's very critical na turuan ho ninyo sila. Okay? I'll go back to the slide. And hopefully, you get to have an idea kung ano ho ito. So, let's talk first of the chief complaint. Ito po ha. Dahil CF4 ang binabasa ni PhilHealth, okay? And the CF4, hopefully everybody knows ano ho ang CF4, okay? So, please analyze first the statement. If possible, make the chief complaint, okay, match the diagnosis. Importante ho ang word na, importante ho dito yung word na if possible, okay? So, ibig sabihin, hindi naman required, but it would be best sana na yung chief complaint ninyo ay tugma doon sa diagnosis. So, what's the relevance of this? Ganito ha, yung medical evaluator sa PhilHealth, may quota yan. Dahil may quota sila, may hinahabol sila everyday. If it's a big region, it's 200 to 300 CF4 every day. Now, if it's a small region, probably 100 to 150 CF4 per day. The number of medical evaluators depend on the type of region. So there are regional offices na maraming med-eval, meron namang iba ko konti lang. Okay? So, but still the same. They need to finish it, okay, in a day, in a week, in a month. Now, ganito ho yan. Kapag yung CF4 ninyo ay hindi ho maintindihan at maraming inconsistency, they practically hate it. So, one of the best thing that you need to understand or even tell the resident and the doctor is this. Sana naman, again if possible, sana yung chief complaint ay a little bit tugma. Okay? Doon sa narrative ng inyong CF4 hanggang sa final diagnosis. Of course, there are times na hindi ho yan tugma. Normal yan. Okay? But then again, sana, okay, most often sana, it's going to be the same. Or may or a little bit tugma. So, clear statements on the chief complaint, okay, hopefully, or if possible, leads to or there's alignment doon sa diagnosis mo. Okay? Your chief complaint has a simplified explanation or it has a link, okay, or it can easily provide, okay, a framework that will link to the medical reasoning ng iyong diagnosis at ng iyong management. So, ito po ha, yung chief complaint is importante din ho yan pagdating natin sa DRG. Because it will now explain the severity of the problem. So, ma-case rate ho yan, ma-DRG, napaka-importante ho ng chief complaint. Now, here's the problem. A lot of hospitals, dahil hindi ho ito ini-explain sa doktor, dahil hindi ho ito ini-explain sa resident, marami hong hospital na yung chief complaint nila is either out of the moon or out of this world or absent yung chief complaint or wala talagang history PE. So that becomes a big problem. Okay? Now, again, the term here is possible. So, chief complaint not related to the suspected diagnosis. Okay? Kung hindi ho yan tugma, what's going to happen? Very simple. Pagdududahan lang kayo. Now, pagdududahan means they will now find time to read the content of your CF4. So, if they will read your CF4, ang question ho, may sense ba yung CF4 ninyo? Okay? Kasi kung wala hong sense yung CF4 ninyo, lalo ho silang maiinis kasi may hinahabol sila. Okay? If the chief complaint is very, very odd, okay, and it does not even explain ho, okay, the severity, yung kwento ho ng content doon sa CF4 ninyo, pagdududahan din kayo. The claim could either be returned, denied, or it can be downcoded or downcoded or babawasan ho. Okay? Again, yung number one, ang pinupunto ko, sana, okay, tugma. Again, no, I'm not saying na it should be or it must be like that, but try your best. Kasi may hinahabol ho sila eh. So, for example yung diagnosis ninyo, okay, CAP-MR, and then, yan yung sinisigil ninyo sa case rate, and then yung chief complaint ninyo is pagpalagay natin headache. So, it will create unnecessary attention. Okay? So the medical evaluator will say, ano nangyari? Sumakit yung ulo and then nag-CAP-MR. Okay? So ngayon, hahanapin niya, what is the link of headache and the CAP-MR? So the next question here is this. Can you actually provide the link? Kasi kung hindi ho trained yung gumawa ng CF4 ninyo, magkakaproblema kayo. They get now to see all the inconsistencies in your CF4. Okay? And that becomes a problem. So, you will now be flagged, okay, hindi talaga tugma. And yung next kong CF4 ninyo babasahin, pagdududahan na rin. Yun. Okay? And the succeeding things, it will cast doubt. Now, it's not going to be that way every day. So my point is this, try to avoid it. Okay? So, you give them what they want to see. Now, basic yun sa chief complaint. Now, ito naman, try your best, okay, and provide a complete history of present illness. This is one of the most, okay, taken for granted items ng doktor, lalo na ng residente. So, kung yung HPI ninyo ay hilaw, or kung yung HPI ninyo ay absent, or it doesn't make any sense, there is a big chance, okay, there is a big chance that it will be denied or they will ask for something else. Now, it needs to be detailed. It must be done in chronology. Okay? There must be the clinical elements must be there to justify the clinical impression, or hopefully it can lead to your final diagnosis. Okay? Ulitin ko the clinical elements ng history of present illness, sana, okay, it will match the chief complaint, it can lead to the clinical impression, and hopefully, if possible, kung walang problema, can easily lead to your final diagnosis. Again, this is not cast into stone. Hindi ho ito required. But it is highly recommended that the narrative, sana, okay, there's some congruity. Now, bakit? Kasi nga nagmamadali itong mga taong ito eh. Again, hindi naman bawal na hindi tugma. But then again, kung hindi tugma, they will again try to figure it out. Okay? What in God's name happened here? Okay? So they will try to see. So pag hindi naman nila makita yung hinahanap nila, yun ang malaking problema. Okay? So, classic disaster na nakita ko sa mga hospitals, sa mga dati kong kliyente. A history of present illness using arrows. Pantakin mo yung na-deny yung chart. Okay? And then, denied non-compliance to standard of care. So of course, ang pinadala niya yung CF4. Okay? Sabi ko, hindi ko nabasahin yung CF4 ninyo kasi nga sinuka. So I would want to know, ano ang sinulat sa clinical chart? Okay? Ulitin ko ha. I am a client. Okay? May kliyente ho ako. Okay? Now, this client, na-deny ho yung kanyang claim, non-compliance to standard of care. Okay? So, what is the reason? Kapag non-compliance to standard of care, it's quite simple. CF4 ang problema. Okay? CF4 ang problema dyan. So dahil pinapadala natin yung CF4 through the system sa e-claim, sabi ko, I don't have a copy of the CF4 because na-deny nga yan, ibig sabihin basura yan. Okay? I would like to see the chart. And lo and behold, boom, yun ang nasa chart. Yung history of present illness na ginawa, Diyos ko, arrow. Okay? So, patient not feeling well, arrow, chest pain, arrow, admit. Sabi ko, paano naman i-convert ito? I-narrative yan. So naturally, denied ho. How are you going to convert that into a chronological, detailed history of present illness? Okay? Meron ba hong ibang mga doktor ginagawan lang ho ng isa or dalawang sentence? So that alone, okay, is a red flag already. So, kung ganun ho ang pagkasulat sa CF4, kulang, now, the medical evaluator will ask, ano ang relation na to sa chief complaint? And ano ho ang relation na to sa diagnosis? Can it really explain the diagnosis or even the admitting diagnosis? So they get now to doubt kung ano ho ang sinulat ninyo. Okay? And they will hate it because they're going to read the entire document. So now the question is this. Upon reading the entire document, may saysay ba yung isinulat doon? So most of the time, wala akong saysay yan. Kaya nagkakaproblema. Okay? So, if you really want to make money, okay, critical ho yung chief complaint and the history of present illness. Don't take it for granted. And let's proceed to number 3. The physical exam. Do it correct and your revenue will be protected. Again, so, ito ho, taken for granted ng maraming hospital. It needs to be relevant. It needs to be very specific, okay? That will support the admitting diagnosis. If it leads to the final diagnosis, that's very good. Okay? Now, PE is very critical sa DRG. If you're admitting doctor, if your residents take this for granted, right now, so believe me, pag-implement ng DRG next year, wala ho kayong pera. Okay? So, sa DRG ho, okay, history, physical exam will be scrutinized. Kasi po, okay, ang basis of payment is the severity. Once you get to write 1, 12, and 20, 1 principal, 12 comorbidities, okay? And you're going to write probably how many procedures. And the grouper will analyze that. And they will get to pay you. Ang question, after payment, meron bang saysay yung inyong PE? Does does it link up to the diagnosis that was created? Okay? Kasi kung wala hong matinong link yan, magkakaproblema kayo sa OT. So, missing findings may lead to downgrades or reimbursement cuts, or it may even lead to legal. Okay? So, sa ngayon, sa case rate, napakarami hong ganitong mga senaryo. CAP-MR, okay? Yung history, medyo tolerable. Okay? So, sa pneumonia, may hinahanap si PhilHealth. May ubo ba yan? May lagnat ba yan? Are there signs of difficulty in breathing? So, yan yung mga favorite na hinahanap nila sa pneumonia. Eh ngayon, yung RR mo, normal. Okay? And then yung PE mo sa chest, okay? Normal. Magkakaproblema ka doon. Okay? So ngayon, ang laki ho ng binabayad ni PhilHealth sa mga suturing. And then, yung history and physical exam mo. And then, the way you write your physical exam, nagsuture ka, babayaran ka ng 15,000, 20,000 or whatever it is. And then, yung PE mo, okay, normal. Magkakaproblema ka doon. So, another example, quite very common, okay, hemorrhagic stroke. Eh, wala naman hong neuro exam. Okay? Magkakaproblema din kayo doon. Now, as PhilHealth prepares to transition for DRG, if your residents on duty are very, very poor sa chief complaint history taking and physical exam, okay, do not expect ho na mababayaran kayo. In the event na mabayaran ho kayo, tatamaan ho kayo sa legal. Okay? So, this is another classic example that you really need to focus on. Physical exam. Because if properly done, your revenue is protected. Okay? Now, the next thing that you need to understand is this. Galing na tayo sa chief complaint. Galing na ho tayo sa history of present feelings. And then you have the PE. Sana ho, yung tatlong yan, okay, should link up with the working impression, doktor. So all of those things, okay, at yung management, the potential management ni Doc, should be related sana, again, sana, doon sa clinical impression or sa admitting diagnosis. Early clinical judgment guiding the test and treatment decisions, okay? Sana, makonect natin doon, okay? Sa signs and symptoms na nakita nung admitting doctor or first day or the second day. No, there must be ito yung number 2, bantayan nyo. It need to support the medical necessity and the clinical reasoning. So, ang point ho dito, yung working impression ninyo should imply, okay, that there is a medical necessity na i-admit yung patient. Okay? Ulitin ko a lot of hospitals get in trouble with this. A lot of you, I will assume, meron kayong mga denied non-compliance to standard of care. And as you analyze it, tama naman lahat, sinunod naman namin lahat. Okay? And there will be times, it's going to be as simple as, okay, hindi makita ni PhilHealth yung admissibility. Okay? Kasi lahat ho dapat yan, ipakita ninyo yung admissibility. So pagbasa pa lang ho ng CF4, okay? It will take them probably a few seconds to check your chief complaint, history, present illness, PE, ICD codes, first case rate, second case rate. Link it up to the admitting diagnosis. Meron bang admissibility factors doon? Kasi kung wala, okay, madidinay ho talaga yan. So, in less than 2 minutes. So, ang point ho dito, I'll go back to the slide. You really need to explain or express the medical necessity and or for surgical procedure, the indication to do the surgical procedure. Okay? Because as number 3 states here, yung auditors or the medical evaluators expect a clear working impression. Okay? The lack of information, okay, leads to interpretation against the hospital dahil hindi malinaw ito, ano ba ang ini-imply ng hospital. Dahil hindi ho malinaw, titingnan ngayon ni medical evaluator yung laman ng inyong documents. Dahil hindi ho naturuan yung doktor, magkakaproblema ho kayo. Classic example here, okay? Working impression, nilagay lang cough. Working impression, nilagay lang ng fever. Working impression, gano'n. Pregnancy. Okay? Now, clinically, pwede naman ho talaga yan. Pero ang question kasi natin dito, pag nilagyan nyo ng fever, is that enough to explain the admissibility? Is that actually a real diagnosis? When you put an impression there or an admitting diagnosis as cough, is that a clear diagnosis? And the better question is, pag may ubo ba, i-admit? Okay? So you really need to focus on this. Okay? That's number 4. Okay? Initially, I plan to stop at number 5, but sabi ko, sayang naman yung oras natin. Let's proceed to up to 10. Number 5, you need to document the medical necessity and the clinical plan. This is related to number 4. Okay? Show the medical necessity and the surgical clinical reasoning with clear documentation of signs and symptoms. Okay? Ayaw ba? Makita ninyo. So, yung 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Kung maganda pa kagawa nun, number 5 will not be a problem. Again, dahil binabasa nila yung CF4. Ito. So, sabi ko kanina, importante maintindihan ito sa case read. Nandyan yung CF4. Okay? So, it's a quick glance on that piece of paper or what's written in their monitor. It's a quick glance. Okay? There's no personality there. It's a quick glance. If they don't see what they want to see, yung CF4 din yung basura. If they don't get to see, okay, the clinical or the medical necessity, bakit ninyo inadmit ito? They will not read the succeeding pages. Or if they will read the succeeding pages, they will start to look for something that will guarantee that it will be denied. Okay? So you need to display the medical necessity. You need now to indicate the clinical reasoning. What is the compelling reason bakit ninyo inadmit yung pasyente? Yeah. Ito yung common na problema. Inadmit. Tama naman ho talaga na i-admit. Okay? Yung doktor ho natin, diplomate fellow, napakagaling ho na yan. Admissible naman ho talaga. Nandun lahat ng indication sa pasyente. Ang question, isinulat pa. Okay? A lot of hospitals or surgeons perform surgeries left and right. But and a lot of them do not actually indicate, encode or write in the chart the indication to do the surgery. Magkakaproblema ho kayo sa DRG. Kasi hinahanap ko yan sa DRG. Okay? So, there are so many examples here. Okay? Asthma in acute exacerbation. Isinulat ba ang the medical necessity, okay, to admit the patient? Isinulat ba ho yung mga detalye? Kung naisulat ba, or rather kung naisulat man, tugma ba ito sa number 1, 2, 3, and 4? Okay? So it's very critical that you need to understand this. Okay? Now, if you are a medical evaluator, the owner/medical evaluator of the hospital, you really also need to look for this. Huwag niyo ipadala kay PhilHealth yung CF4 ninyo kung hindi ho tugma-tugma yung laman, ha? And then kasi ho magugulat kayo bakit hindi binayaran. Again, hindi naman ho lahat binabasa. Okay? May mga favorite ho silang basahin. So, that's number 5. Okay? Now, let's proceed to number 6. Okay, dali po. Number 6 is quite common sense. Okay? Maniningil ka ng napakalaking bayad. Maniningil ka, okay, ng 29,000, maniningil ka ng 80,000, maniningil ka ng mga 50,000 na claim. Ang question dyan, okay, do you really have the proof that the problem of the patient is existing. Okay? Is there proof? So ano ba yung proof? Now, ito ngayon yun. Okay? Ensure that your lab or diagnostics are there. If you have this, okay, if you have 1 up to 6, your revenue is protected. So, the presence of the doctor's lab and imaging results, okay, in order ni doc at lumabas yung mga result, okay, is substantial enough. Kapag makita ho nila yan, okay, malamang hindi na ho kayo pagdudahan. So, because if the result matches the diagnosis, okay, that's quite clear. Okay? They will not look for any issues. So, ito importante ho ito be it sa case rate or sa DRG. Lalo na ho sa DRG. Sa DRG ho, the basis of payment, okay, the more severe the illness, the bigger the pay. The more procedures you perform, there's a big chance the bigger the pay. But it's all determined, okay, the weight of payment is determined by severity. So, it's not actually 100% guarantee na lista mo lahat yan, malalaki ang bayad. Okay? Kung benign yung case, benign din yung bayad. However, kung toxic yung case ninyo, and you have proof to indicate yung toxic, so meron ho kayong comorbids and complication, the CC and the MCC. The major comorbids and complication are also listed and substantiated by laboratory procedures or lab results and diagnostic procedures. I'm pretty sure you're going to get paid. But the absence of the diagnostics or the absence of the results will raise question. Maniningil ho kayo ng stroke, maniningil kayo ng pneumonia, wala ho kayong attachment, pagdududahan ho kayo. Okay? But ito, inadmit. Now, another problem is, ginawa naman ho yung lab, hindi lang na-attach. That's worse. That's even worse than that. That's even worse than not attaching the result. You forgot to attach the result. Okay, that's incompetence. Mawawalan kayo ng mga 90,000 on that or 80,000 on that. So, make sure before you transmit the claim sa CF4, everything should be in place. Sa DRG ho, you really need someone to review it. Okay? You really need to train, okay, the person who's going to review it. Now, if you've analyzed it from 1 to 6, lahat ho yan doctor-induced. Ang point ho dito, you need to train your doctors. If you're operating a level 1 hospital, level 2 hospital ho kayo, or even level 3 hospital ho kayo, if your residents are not trained, it's going, if you're a level 3 and you're a training hospital and your residents are not trained on this, it's going to be a disaster and there is loss of opportunity in making money. I hope you're following the Senate. Tinitigan na naman si PhilHealth sa no balance billing, okay? So, and there's this pronouncement that may problema ang no balance billing or hindi pa nila naintindihan yan. But sabi nga ni Senator, transitioning it to DRG. So, ang point ho natin dito, yung DRG talaga, darating yan. So, ang question, yung doktor ba ninyo ay na-train? Okay? Kasi kapag hindi ho yan train, magkakaproblema kayo. Okay? Now, kailangan may attachment. I want you to analyze the mini case example written below. The stroke needs cranial scan. Diba? That's basic. BMI na cases requires ECG, cardiac enzymes, or whatever. Okay. Yung AGE, moderate dehydration. Okay? Sa opinion ninyo, ano ba sabi sa circular? Is it required na mag-attach ba kayo ng fecalysis? Who wants to answer the question? Okay? Ito yung tanong ko. Okay? Required ba? Ano nakasulat sa circular? Required ba maglagay ng fecalysis sa AGE? Okay? Needed. Okay. Yes, needed siya, di ba? Okay. Pero nabasa ba ninyo yung circular? Okay? Yung original na circular, nabasa ninyo? Hindi ho required. Okay, hindi ho required yung original na circular. Kasi hindi naman ho talaga clinically required yan. However, okay, dahil magulo nga sila kausap, ni-require. Okay? Balikan niyo yung ano, balikan ho ninyo yung quality policy. May nakasulat doon sa AGE, it's not required na may fecalysis. Diyos ko, pero pag submit mo ng claim, required. Oh. Bulaga, di ba? So yan yun. So you need now to predict ano ba yung mentality na to nila. Okay, sabi hindi required. Eh ngayon, yung sinabit, walang ganito. Required pala. And then all of a sudden, things will change. Okay? Ganun ho yun. Okay? Kaya what I recommend, wherein a lot of people, a lot of regional offices will say, there are certain illnesses, okay, na hindi kailangan ng diagnostics. Okay? Ulitin ko merong mga circular nilabas na hindi ho kailangan ng mga diagnostic results. Okay? Tama nga naman yun, clinically. Okay? Eh ang question, yung mag-evaluate mo nun, yan ba yung mindset niya? Sana. Sa 10 na yan, hindi ho sila pare-pareho. Classic example, yung pedya na pneumonia. Okay? Tama nga naman yun na kapag nag-chest x-ray ka, there will be instances na hindi talaga mag-match yung x-ray nung pedya sa actual diagnosis. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, denied ba yun or hindi? Okay? So, ang sasabihin talaga, hindi kailangan mag-match. Pero merong ibang regional office na kapag hindi nag-match, denied. Now, for me, as an insurance kasi, to relieve you of the headache, try your best. Okay? To avoid it na sana the labs will substantiate, okay, the diagnosis. Again, clinically, pwede naman kasi hindi. Pero sa insurance, try your best. Okay? Kapag may inconsistency sa circular, you really need to call the regional office. Okay? To remind them na sabi ng circular, hindi pwedeng hindi mag-match. Okay? Remind lang po, baka naman i-deny ninyo. Okay? Kasi nangyari ho yan sa mga kliyente ko. Now, tao lang naman sila. Okay? That's number 6. We'll proceed to, okay, number 7. Here, this one is very, very important. You need to understand progress notes, okay, equals your rate. I want you to start thinking of this. Yung progress notes ninyo should equal kung ano yung rate na ibabayad sa inyo. Sa case rates, it may not be that important yet. However, okay, pagdating ho ng DRG, there is a big possibility. Yung progress notes ninyo is a basis of payment. Kasi po, uulitin ko sa DRG, lalaki yung bayad ninyo if you can actually provide proof or you have the signs and symptoms that can illustrate the severity or the severe condition of the patient. So, kung totoo ngang toxic yung patient ninyo, okay, at isinulat doon ng inyong doktor na toxic yung pasyente, ang magpapatunay ho na totoong toxic yan ay yung progress notes. So, number 1, the daily clinical course monitoring. Okay? Kasi babayaran kayo ng malaki, di ba, sa DRG? Kasi toxic yung pasyente ninyo. So, okay? Gusto nila makita kung nag-improve or nag-deteriorate. So, kung nag-deteriorate yan continuously, lalaki yung bayad. They want to validate if the hospitalization is really valid at kung tama ho yung treatment ninyo. So again, no, it's audit verification. Kaya sinabi ko sa DRG, yung progress notes is equal to your payment. Now, the missing notes in your progress notes, okay, ito yung problema. Yung other countries ho, yung model ng DRG nila, kapag hilaw yung progress notes mo at kapag hilaw yung nurses notes mo, downgraded yung bayad mo. Kasi walang proof. Okay? So, if you're saying it's going to be sepsis, okay, ano nangyari during the course of confinement? Kung severe yan, make it appear doon sa progress notes na may severity. Now, here's the challenge for you who operate the hospital. A lot of doctors, no, especially the non-training hospitals and even training hospitals, they take this for granted. So when we started PhilHealth noong 2011, or case rate noong 2011, wala ho talagang value ang progress notes. Nung lumabas ho, noong 2019, ang CF4, nagkagulo lahat, doon kayo nag-focus sa, many of the hospitals, nag-focus doon sa course in the ward or progress notes. But actually, hindi yun ang basis of denial and payment until the recent years na lang. But eto ngayon, sa DRG, all of the countries implementing it, the progress notes or the SOAP, together with the labs, some of them, even the nurses' notes, play a critical role kasi po severity ang basis of payment. Severity is easily proven sa progress notes. So, as early as now, make sure your team of doctors are doing it right. Okay? Once the RG will start, para wala hong iyakan. That's number 7. And we'll proceed with number 8. We're done with the chief complaint, history of present illness, the physical exam, and then you now have the clinical impression, okay? And you also have all those things. Number 8 is the final diagnosis. Now, yung final diagnosis, nakadiagnose na si Doc. Ang problem, okay, na-code ba ng tama? Okay? Kasi kung hindi, yung claim ninyo or your payment will not be protected. So, it's very critical, okay, yung ICD-10 coding tama. Kasi yung ICD-10 coding is now the basis. Ito linawin ko muna. Ano ba yung coding na sinasabi dito? Your final diagnosis will be converted into ICD-10 codes. The surgical procedure is also converted into the RVS codes. Once the RG will start, there is now another term, the DRG codes. So, to make it simple, ang ginagamit lang talaga ng system namin sa PhilHealth, yung enclaves, ICD-10. ICD-10 yung basis ng payment, ICD-10 yung basis ng legal, ICD-10 yung basis ng pag-audit. Ang point ko ho dito is this. Yung content ho ng clinical chart, you need to convert that, okay, into the final diagnosis. The final diagnosis is coded into an ICD-10 code. Ang question, tama ba yung ICD code? Kasi kung hindi tama yung ICD code, mali yung case rate mo, pagdating sa DRG, lalo na kung mali. So, there must be precision. Okay? Precision, tama ba yung diagnosis ni Doc? Are the clinical signs and symptoms support the final diagnosis? And then convert it into ICD-10 codes. Okay? So, it's critical to use the correct ICD-10 for you to have the correct or accurate DRG codes also. ICD-10 is different from DRG codes. Ang basis ng DRG codes, papunta ka ng payment. Anong gagamitin sa 1 and the 12 is the ICD-10. Yung procedures, RVS codes. So kung mali ho yung ICD-10, when does ICD-10 become incorrect? Number one, your coder is not updated. Believe me. Kung yung coder ho ninyo ay 10 years ago pa na-train, make sure na may retooling kayo. Okay? Make sure na ipa-attend ninyo ng updated. Okay? Kung ang coder ho ninyo ay nagso-shortcut lang at ginagamit yung online ICD-10, Diyos ko, lalong mali ho yun. Okay? Hindi ho lahat ng nasa online tama. Ibig sabihin, mali yung sinisingil din ninyo. Now, I've seen this in some of my clients. Meron nga kami, Diyos ko, in level 3, we never realized that it was a big problem. Okay? So, precision should start doon sa information ng doktor. Okay? Granting na tama si Doc. Next question, tama ba yung pag-convert ng code? Okay? Kung nag-aaway, okay, if, for example, yung hospital ninyo, you're a big hospital, yung coder ninyo, meron sa medical records at meron din kayo sa billing. Kung yung dalawang coder na yan ay hindi tugma ang kanilang ICD code at nag-aaway sila, okay, dahil kung sino ba yung tama o mali, may problema ko yung coding niyo. Okay? Dahil may problema dun sa dalawang tao. So, again, sabi ko kanina, may listahan kung ano yung preference. Padala ka ng 1,000 claims. Hindi lahat basahin yan, kalokohan yan. May preference kung ano lang yung mga diagnosis na babasahin. Okay? Yung mga diagnosis na yan, ICD-10 codes lang din ang hawak nila. It's the same sa surgical procedure. These are RVS codes. And alam na nila yan kung ano yun. What procedure is that? What diagnosis is that? Okay? Ito, yung post-audit. Pag sinalang yung 1,000 claim ninyo sa system, the system automatically detects specific ICD-10 codes that is required to pass post-audit. Okay? So, ang point ko, tinatag ko yung ICD-10. Okay? Ang question dyan, tama ba yung ICD-10 codes ninyo? Yung ICD-10 codes ninyo, tama ba pangagawa? Tugma pa siya sa final diagnosis? Yung final diagnosis, tugma ba sa laman ng clinical chart? Okay? So if nobody is checking this, okay, expect trouble in the next succeeding years. Okay? I also have a previous client, lahat ho ng diabetes mellitus niya, na-code ho as a diabetic ketoacidosis. This is a story that I frequently tell everybody. Okay? When your ICD-10 coder trained as they are and they prefer to copy the ICD-10 codes of the other hospital for some reason, okay? May kliyente ko gano'n, kinokopya ho yung maling ICD-10 code ng kabilang hospital. Sabi ko, paano ka nakarating dito, ma'am? Dok, kinopya ho yung kabilang hospital eh. Bakit po kinopya? Kasi Dok, parang mas magaling sila. Sabi ko, hindi ho, mali yung kinopya mo. So, copying ka, mali pa. So, ngayon, silang dalawa suspended. Yung isa na-revoke. So, ang point ko, accurate final diagnosis, need to code it right, okay? Check it, okay? And protect your revenue. Okay? Now, let's go to number 9. Ito po, operative record. So, make sure yung OR tech ninyo hindi hilaw. Okay? It must be correct, complete, and consistent. Documentation of surgery. Okay? Yung step-by-step, intra-op finding and outcome, as well as the indication is very critical. Ito, pagdating ho ng DRG, in other countries, binabasa ho ito. Okay, to be honest, sa case rate, nung nag-medical evaluate ho ako, hindi ko binabasa yan. Okay? Hindi ko binabasa yan. Why? Because it's a waste of time. Okay? But we have nurses to check it, to check the content. Okay? We have, sa claims ho kasi, during my time, 90% of my staff, mga nurses yan. Meron ako mga galing sa OR, so they get to see the inconsistencies behind it. So, it's the same thing pagdating sa legal, binabasa ko yung OR tech. I have so many clients who ended up with legal. rather with a case in legal wherein the basis of the case was anchored in the surgical memo or in the operative technique. Okay? Common ho dyan yung mga debridement at mga suturing. They do it left and right. They do it every day. And then the content of the operative technique is a 3-sentence template that's being used 500 times. Okay? That becomes a tragic thing. Okay? And of course, there are some bogus OR tech, no? The procedure that was done is non-compensable, and the surgeon fabricates a lot of things. Okay, so that becomes also something very problematic. Now, my point here is this. Okay, if you're operating a hospital, if you're managing one, if you own a hospital, okay, try your best ho to review yung OR tech ninyo. Okay, ask your OR nurses. Ito, tanungin niyo yung mga OR nurses ninyo, meron ba kayong doktor dito na gumagawa ng ibang bagay sa loob ng OR at iba yung sinisingil sa papel? Okay? Try to ask your OR nurses because they know best. If you have surgeons like that, okay, as early as now, kick them out if you can or control them, okay? Because that will be your problem in the next succeeding years pagdating ng DRG. Okay? So, I hope po naintindihan ninyo. That's number 9. Okay? Make sure you have a good operative record. And of course, make every discharge count. Okay? Prevent revenue and the legal risk. Here, it's very simple. It focuses more on the clinical summary. The clinical summary is a little bit different sa discharge summary. The clinical summary provides a snapshot of everything. The discharge summary focuses on the critical outcome, okay, during the time of confinement. But nevertheless, okay, PhilHealth would want to see that sa CF4. Okay? If you try to see the slide, is it correct? Is it complete? Is there coherence? Does it detail the patient outcome? Okay, hahanapin mo yan. Lalo na sa DRG. Does it support the justification or the hospital stay? Ito yan yung issue ng length of stay. So, auditors or medical evaluators would like to check for clarity and completeness. The same principle yan sa CF4. So, kung yung laman ho ng discharge summary ninyo, yung laman ng inyong clinical summary ay kulang, okay, it will cast doubt. It will cast doubt. Okay? So once they get to see these cases na kulang or there is inconsistency, then they will ask for the clinical chart. So the problem is after asking for when they ask for the clinical chart, when they will now evaluate the clinical chart, ano ba yung makikita nila? Okay? Ano ba yung makita nila sa chart ninyo? Okay? Meron ba silang makitang tama o baka naman mas marami yung mga mali? Now, it goes back to the question, are your doctors really trained? Okay? Sa documentation na gusto ni PhilHealth. And DRG is coming, so magkakaproblema ho kayo if hindi ho kayo handa. Okay? So that's number 10. Now, the true cost of the missing notes. Yung binanggit kong 10, kung isa dyan, dalawa or tatlo ay kulang, okay? There will be times, I'm going to be honest, there will be times na makakalusot talaga kayo. In fact, probably kulang na nga yung ginagawa ninyo at hindi pa kayo na legal or hindi pa kayo nagka-problema. But the time will really come na makita nila yan. So sayang ho, okay? Sayang. So as early as now, in preparation ho sa DRG, okay? Try your best to improve, okay? Focus on the 10 documentation or the 10 notes that actually comes from the doctors. Again, a lot of doctors, ito po, what I'm trying to discuss right now sa free webinar, these are all doctor-induced. Now, kasalanan ba talaga nito? For me, hindi. Hindi yan kasalanan ng doktor kasi hindi naman ho yan tinuro sa kanila. Don't get me wrong, I am married to one. Okay? Marami akong kaibigan ng doktor. Hindi ho talaga yan tinuro sa kanila. So natural, magkakamali ho talaga sila sa documentation. Because what they perceive to be right is not actually always right. Now, here's another problem. Magpatawag ka ng meeting, hindi naman sila darating. Di ba? So that becomes a complicated problem if you're operating a hospital. If you own a hospital, if you're the medical director, it is a big headache. But unfortunately, that is your task. Okay? So you need to figure it out. Now, here's what I'm trying to say. Hindi ho yan imposibleng i-correct. Okay? I've done it several times. Ang problema ng iba kong kliyente ngayon sa masterclass is napakalaki. Okay? Okay. Who among you wants to know what is the biggest may isang kliyente ho ako, napakalaki ng problema niya. Who among you wants to know? Type me. Malaki ho yung problema ng isa kong kliyente. Okay? Okay. Who else? Who wants to know? May masterclass ho ako na kliyente. Napakalaki ho ng problema niya sa claims processing. Okay? Who among you is interested to know? Okay? Para ma-prevent ninyo. Okay? Ma-prevent ninyo sa hospital ninyo. Okay? Okay, ganito. Yung problema ho nila, okay, after having time with me, is dumami ho yung pera. Okay? Kumita sila ng malaki. Sa sobrang laki ng kinita nila at lumampas ho sila sa target, tinanong nila yung sarili nila, Doc Ben, ito yung problema ko. Okay? Magbabayad kami ng tax na 20%. Ang laki ng income. Di, ang laki ng tax. Nakuha nyo? It's a positive problem because they're so good at what they're doing. Okay? Lumampas ho sila sa target. The problem is quite unique. They have surpassed their income. Dahil nga napakalaki ng income, they need a big portion of that to pay to government as tax. And it's a headache. Okay? We're not practically, my assumption is lahat naman siguro kayo hindi masaya kung saan pumupunta yung tax natin, di ba? So it's the same sentiment with this hospital. Okay? Ang point ko is this. Before, basura yun sila. Basura yung doktor, basura yung claim. Yung income nila, kaperagot lang. After spending time with me, they now have another problem. Okay, they are over it, beyond sa kanilang target. And the sad part there, they're going to pay the tax. Okay, naintindihan nyo? Now, here's the thing. Yung 10 na in-explain ko, you can easily implement that sa hospital ninyo. Secure it, and eventually your revenue gets protected. If you ignore the 10, okay, you're exposing your hospital into so many problems, especially when DRG will come next year. Okay? So, hopefully, do not miss the notes. Okay? Now, this is a unique slide just to illustrate, okay, ano ho yung mga critical parts. Again, make sure yung chief complaint ninyo, okay, matches kung ano yung sinisingil ninyo. If possible, then you have the history of present illness, physical exam, should be done properly, and your clinical impression. Take note ha, doktor lahat ito. Then the diagnostics ni Doc na in-order. Ano ang plano ni Doc? Now, to substantiate kung ano yung nangyari per day, lalo na sa DRG, okay, progress notes are very critical. And of course, a conclusive diagnosis after the evaluation. Again, what's written in the middle is this alignment ng documentation. The keyword here is alignment. Okay? So, madali lang ho ito. Turuan lang yung mga doktor ninyo. Okay? So, protect yourself. Protect your hospital. Complete and timely documentation. Use simple medical necessary language. Understand yung payor. Intindihin nyo sa perspective ni PhilHealth, hindi perspective ninyo. Okay? Alamin ninyo kung ano yung gusto nila. Hindi yung gusto ninyo at yung gusto ng doktor ninyo. Yung gusto nila. Ano ba yung gusto nilang makita? Ano ba yung hinahanap nila? Intindihin ninyo. And then you collaborate inside the hospital. Collaborate not only with the people, but also with the documentation. This is not for doctors alone. Okay? It involves the entire process. So, now, all those things na sinabi ko, okay, accurate documentation leads to increase ang inyong revenue. To increase yung kita ninyo, napakasimple lang. This is what I do sa masterclass. Gusto nyo kumita? Babaan natin yung RTH, babaan natin yung denied. Okay? Eventually, mag-zero yan. Then wala ho kayong problema sa audit at wala kayong problema sa legal. Prepare for the DRG. Okay? And you strengthen medico-legal. Teach the doctors on the concept of claims processing as well as the legal aspect para ho, they will try their best to make the documentations correct. The key there is you really need to train the doctors. Okay? Protect the revenue. Okay? Again, yung 10 yan ha. I hope naintindihan ninyo yung 10 kanina. So, okay? Number 1, train your doctors. Next, okay? Find time. Ito, meron kami mga webinar on clinical documentation improvement. Okay, we also have a DRG documentation mastermind. And we also have, okay, itong teaching the doctors on how to do it right. Now, yan ho yung 10. Okay? So, ito ngayon yung question ko. May naintindihan ba kayo? Okay? We started at 2 p.m. and it's 3 o'clock here. Question. May naintindihan ba ho kayo? Type yes kung may naintindihan kayo. Sana ma, okay, thank you ho for the heart. Okay, thank you po very much. Okay, kaibigan din sa Laguna, maraming salamat. Okay, maraming salamat. Thank you very much. So, meron ba kayong questions? Okay? Feel free to ask. Do you have questions related to what related to the webinar or probably even not related to the webinar? Kung wala akong kayong tanong, okay, meron akong tanong sa inyo. Sino sa inyo ang gustong gumamit for free ng CF4 validator? It is a claim validator na AI. Okay, so we've developed an AI. Okay, alam niyo ho yung AI ha, yung hindi ChatGPT. Okay. So, nagpagawa ho ako ng AI. So, I got someone sa States to develop a claim validator. The claim validator is developed sa States, okay? And it's designed to fit the CF4 right now. It's actually applicable din sa DRG, but I'm not implementing it for DRG kasi wala akong DRG ngayon. So for CF4 lang. Okay? So we're testing it right now. We are asking, there's a first batch of hospitals using it. Okay? We're trying to make a short list for the second hospital. We've started listing the second batch of hospitals. If you're interested if you're interested to join the short list of hospitals who would want to use the CF4 or the claims validator for free, feel free ho. Paki-email ho sa amin yung support at coachdocben.com and we will acknowledge yung email ninyo. Okay, now, sige, we have yan. So, ito, kailangan ba ng MD sa PhilHealth claim section? Okay, sir, may question po. Kailangan ba ng doktor sa PhilHealth section? PhilHealth section per se, not really, but I would say na kailangan nyo po ng medical evaluator. Ganito ano ba yung medical evaluator? Ito ho ay doktor na mag-pre-screen ng inyong claim. So, hindi ho kasi pwede, sa opinion ko po, hindi ho pwede ang isang hospital na walang medical evaluator. For me, it's rubbish. For me, it's a potential loss of revenue. Why? Because in other countries ho, bago ho kayo maningil sa insurance, it is being pre-screened sa ibang bansa. Kaya ho ako nag-i-implement ng medical evaluation. The logic here, who wants to know the logic? Okay, question. Bakit ako nagpapa-implement ng medical evaluation sa claims ng hospital sa mga kliyente ko? Okay, required ho yan. Pag nag-masterclass, kung wala kayong medical evaluator, hindi matutuloy. Who wants to know the logic behind it? Why is it I require a medical evaluator? Type me if you are interested to know the answer. Okay? Kasi tanong ni Sir John, gusto ba ninyo malaman what's the reason behind why I require it? Okay, type me. Okay? Okay si Doktora. Hello, Doktora Albora. Okay. So, ayan. The logic behind is very simple. Yung payment ho ninyo kay PhilHealth is being, yung, may claim ho kayo ha, yung payment ng claims ninyo, pag pinadala ninyo kay PhilHealth, nasa kamay yan ng medical evaluator. They get to decide. Kasi yan ho yung role namin dati. Yan ho yung role ko, bantayan yung team. Sila ho yung mag-screen kung good or bad yung claim nyo. So, common sense will dictate. Bago ninyo isalang yung claim ninyo kay PhilHealth because they will review it good or bad, bago ninyo ipadala doon at desisyonan nila, di ba? Common sense will tell you, you clean it up first. Linisin nyo muna doon sa hospital so that the chances of it getting paid is very high. Rather than submit 100 claims every month, okay? And then you will just pray to the gods of the banana outside, okay? Na walang mangyari, and suddenly maraming ma-return or ma-deny. Okay? So, kapag papasok ko yung DRG, hindi ho pwedeng wala ho kayong medical evaluator. Sa case rate 1, case rate 2, yan lang. Dito pa lang, disgrasya na yung hospital. Sa DRG, 1, 12, at 20. Yun ang isusulat ninyo. O kapag hindi ho ninyo na-review ng tama yan, basura yan, hindi kayo papayaran or madi-deny. Now, the question is, do you read a doctor sa claims processing? Sa claims processing office, not so much, but ang preference ko po is a doctor who will pre-screen the claim, pre-bill. Okay. Yun po, no? I hope nasagot ko si Sir John ba yun? Sir, may I ask if you're a doctor? Baka ho. Asan yung pangalan? Okay. Ayun. Okay. Doc, sorry. Okay. Yun ho yung logic ko dun, Doc. Again, I've been doing this for 2 decades. Kasi ganito, Doc, ha? Bigyan ko kayo ng example. Doc, anong level ho kayo, Doc, ng hospital? Level, kindly indicate. Level 1, level 2, level 3 ho kayo. Bigyan ko kayo ng sample computation. Level 2. Okay, ganito, Doc, ha? Kung level 2 ho kayo, top 1 ho na sinisingil ninyo dyan is pneumonia. That's 20, lagay natin 29,250 yata yan. Lagay, kahit 29,000. Okay? So, if you are familiar with your record ho, ang sinisingil ninyo na number 1 for quite a while is community-acquired pneumonia moderate risk. Lagay natin sa 29,000 yan. Okay? So, pag nagpadala kayo na yan, Doc, okay, in a month, kung level 2 kayo, lagay natin meron kayong 15. Okay? Na ganung claim. That's 435,000. Let's say sa 15 claims lang muna tayo. Now, kung nagpapadala kayo ng 1,000 claims per month, hindi ho yan binabasa lahat. May mga specific lang sila na diagnosis na binabasa. So ang isa ho diyan, yung CAP-MR. So kapag nagpadala ho kayo ng 15 CAP-MR in a month, that is equal to, mabasa ba dito? Hindi. So that's equal to almost 500,000. So ang question, Doc, ganito. Yung bang CAP-MR na isinulat ng mga doktor ho ninyo, kumpleto at tama ba based on standards ni PhilHealth? Kung kumpleto ho yan, babayaran kayo ng CAP-MR, which is 435,000. Now, here's the problem. If you will not pre-screen the claim, if you will not pre-screen the claim pre-bill, okay? Baka may mga inconsistencies yan, Doc. Inconsistent yung chief complaint sa diagnosis. Inconsistent yung management ng CAP-MR versus the clinical practice guideline. Inconsistent ho yung final diagnosis versus doon ho sa course in the ward. Okay? Wala hong mga labs na required. Yung history PE baka kulang. So, sa pneumonia pa lang ho yan. Ngayon, kapag yung 15 claims na yan, okay? 15 claims in 1 month lang, it's 435. You multiply that by 12 months ho, that's 5.2 million. So, imagine kung 20% ho dyan, palpak ang pagkagawa. Okay? Sa pneumonia pa lang yan. Okay? I hope nakikinig yung iba, sa pneumonia pa lang. Pero level 2 kayo, Doc. Meron pa kayong stroke, meron pa kayong sepsis, meron pa kayong suturing. Ngayon, sir, pagdating ho ng DRG, okay, it's going to be very, very complicated. So that's why my advocacy is, there are some attendees here, members ho na aking ng masterclass. So, hindi ho talaga pwedeng mag-masterclass na walang medical evaluator. So yun, yung medical evaluator ho, here's another Doc. Ano ba yung medical evaluator? Pwede ba nurse? Sa experience ko, nag-nurse ako dati, ginulpi. Ginulpi ng mga residents. Ginulpi talaga, was bullied by the residents. Who are you to question my diagnosis? So, ayan. So kapag doktor to doktor, gano'n, malinaw. Diba? Kung may bullying man, very minimal. So, do I train medical evaluators? I usually train them if the hospital avails for a master class. Now, is it okay to have a medical evaluator that is not trained? Pwede naman ho. Okay? True. Alin ho yung true? Binubuli nila yung nurse. Okay. Medical, okay. Oh, sir, mas malaki yung pasweldo. No, yung medical director ko, ito, Doc, since na-open up nyo. Yung medical evaluator ko, I usually connect them, or her, or he, sa medical director. Kasi kapag binuli ni consultant, yung Doc, yung Med-Eval, napakasimple lang. Susumbong lang ni Med-Eval sa medical director. Di ba? Ganun lang yung buhay. Kasi binubuli ho talaga, sir. Okay. Asan na ako? The question, pwede bang mag-Med-Eval na hindi ko na-train? Pwede naman, hindi naman bawal. But here's the problem, okay? Yung training ho ng medical evaluator ko is based on the compensability rules. So, yung clinician ho, yung doktor, mag-evaluate ng claim, pwede. However, ang assessment niya dyan is clinical. Wala masyadong PhilHealth. Pag tinuruan ko ho yung hospital Med-Eval, kasi pag nagturo ko ako, hindi ho yan Med-Eval lang. Kasama pa ho yung ibang mga members ng hospital so that they get to have an idea sa konsepto. So when I trained a Med-Eval for a hospital, number one, the clinical is not a problem anymore. Number two, I focus on the clinical compensability rules ni PhilHealth. Okay? That is a totally different Totally different approach. Okay? I hope, sir, nasagot ho yung tanong. Okay? Okay. Pwede naman, sir. Okay? Do we have other questions? Thank you po sa mga tanong. Okay, so if anybody's interested with the AI, kindly email us. Okay? So, may pahabol ho. We also we are opening a short list for hospitals interested for the master class. So, kasi hindi ho lahat ng applicant ng master class tinatanggap namin. We do a pre-screening of the hospital, and then we get to assess if it's a good fit between me and the team, with my team. Kung good fit, then we will proceed. Okay? If you're interested, if you have inquiries, feel free to email us. Okay? So, yes po, doktora. Pwede naman ho, yung AI CF4 sa level 1. Mas madali nga yun, Dok. Kasi the AI, the AI can easily assess, no? Kasi yung level 1 hindi siya ganun ka-toxic. So, yung assessment po ng AI is both clinical and at the same time yung documentation na may mga specific rules and instructions na nanggaling sa akin. Okay, ganun po. So, okay, Ted, no problem. Okay, sige. If there are no more questions, wala na ba hong tanong? Meron pang pahabol? Okay. So, if there are no more questions, thank you very much for joining. I hope I did not waste your time. I hope may naintindihan ho kayo. And we will try our best to have this webinar posted sa YouTube channel namin. And feel free to subscribe. Okay? So, maraming salamat. Okay? And thank you very much for joining. Have a pleasant afternoon and hope to see you next time. Thank you very, very much po for joining. Maraming salamat. Thank you po. Thank you.